This is typical English Bull Terrier behaviour. It's really hot and I'm filming the car and he wants to go home. Mr. Behr! Coming out! Mr. Behr! I will now have to extract him. People's cat and Mr. Behr. So what's in my get home bag in the car? I showed you what was in Kitty's. They're meant to work as a pair. Kitty's aware of the fact that in an emergency situation, if she can grab both bags and do nothing else because the car's on fire or she's in imminent danger, then she's to grab both bags, go to somewhere safer and then reevaluate what's in the bags, discard the stuff she doesn't need, like some of my clothing, or maybe keep it depending on the weather, and that the money is available in both bags. So she can have $400 in low denomination notes and a little bit of first aid and some water. Now my bag's a little bit different because my philosophy is a bit different. So if I'm actually going to be bugging out back from the car, I'm anticipating we'd have 5 minutes, maybe 2 minutes before we had to abandon the vehicle. That may be a mistake, which is why I have get-on bags. And I have the shovel and the saw ready to grab. Because if I have to leave very quickly from the vehicle and all I can do is grab the bug out bags, I'm leaving quite a bit in here. Now I will make note of where the car is and I will lock the car on the way out, because I might be able to come back in the future and find my stuff unused, which would be useful. But what I anticipate doing would be rationalising and taking quite a bit of that food and carrying it. That would be the idea, depending on the distance we have to travel. Now, I only have one bottle of water in the car because we used one a couple of months ago for the dogs. There are other bottles of water and there's also hydration packs, so I have less than Kitty for that, because my bag's designed to be mostly empty and to be filled from this quickly. I do have some food. Meal ready to go. Again, this is 1 serving per container, so this is only 210 calories. So again, although it's got a long shelf life and it's good in the car, a lot of these meals, realistically speaking, you're going to need 5 to 10 of them or more a day to actually fuel you in high stress. But in a get-home situation, you just want enough food to keep the fat calories coming in to actually keep moving to get home. Once you get home, you can eat if you've got supplies. This is just dead funny. This is basically to say, go away. And that's what I want in a knife, in a get-home situation. I'll always have a little knife on me. But in a get-home situation, I want to scare people. Now I know a lot of you guys are going to wander around with sidearms and rifles and stuff like that. That's always a good idea. Unless there are military or law enforcement on the streets and martial law has been declared. Because if they spot you with a sidearm, even when you're allowed to be out and about, they're probably in most areas going to stop you. And that might be via a bullet or by a warning. So bear that in mind. Law enforcement will not disappear as soon as SHDF happens. Might become very useless in terms of protecting you, but I expect law and order to be enforced to protect existing government agencies, and that will mean they won't want people running around carrying guns, because you might shoot a politician. A pair of heavy duty socks for the winter, bunch of trash bags, can't have too many, crappy old scarf that was going to go to Goodwill, do for the purpose. I do have gloves. I have winter gloves that are the type that you can have the fingers in and also cover the fingers in this. These would double as work gloves for the purpose. They're not going to last long with that, but they'll do it. Toque. Always a good idea. Get your ears covered. And a long sleeve sports shirt for me as well. Now these would go under or over or just this, depending on the time of year and the weather conditions. You can sweat in these, you'll stink, but you won't get uncomfortable because they will allow you to sweat out through it, whereas cotton like this gets heavy. They're a good idea. Now I have a little pack from a pocket box. So if, when, but if, when. Kind of like the pack. I have a few little bars in there to munch on the go. Pretty rancid at this point in time, but they'll work. Hemp cream. Good fire starter, and it's also good for your hands. You can get cold. I got this, it's a salt kit. Can't have much use for it. I wouldn't rely on a kit like this hiking. I have my own hiking kit, it's entirely different from this. But I have the whistle, a crappy little button compass, some duct tape, a fishing kit. Good luck with that. Some fire tinder and a mirror and a few other bits and pieces in here. I think a survival match was my bag. It's there. The wire saw. I'd rather use the SOG, but if I lose the SOG, I have a wire saw. Bandana, full of useful hints for me. Again, if Kitty's in the car or Kitty's doing this on her own, to be able to look at something like this will help her focus on her tasks at hand to get home. Face wipes, wouldn't have bought these, but I got them free from the pocket box, so they're in there. You know what this is, right? If you've got young children and you live anywhere near a nuclear bomb target or a nuclear power station, you need to get these. They will work for young children and young adults and babies. You need to know what you're doing with them. So I'd recommend you get the cheapest version you can. Iostat potassium tablets. They only protect the thyroid. You have to take them prior to exposure by ingestion of the radioactive thyroid. But they will work very well for young children and teenagers and even young adults to prevent them getting thyroid cancer in 15 to 20 years after a nuclear incident. I carry them, I use them. Tamiflu. It's unlikely I'll be in the car away from the home, but if I am and a pandemic's broken out, I would consider using these. But again, know what you're doing, look it up. Another foil blanket, a coffee infused bar, hand wipe and fire starter, the candles, some matches. This is all basic stuff. A little bag of homemade tinder, another tiny little Fresnel. Would this work? Would I have to use this? I don't know. It's light, so it's there as a backup. Toilet roll tinder, energy gel, a somewhat impressive fire starter with a whistle. But of course I hope not to use that. If I have to use the ferro rod in this sort of situation, it's been a screw up. I want to use this. Bic. For lighting at night, flashlight, again, make sure every year or so you check these and change the batteries out. Some more fire starter I got free. I would not buy this stuff. I can get my own birch and pine easily. And some matches. So yeah, now in terms of the water, I don't have much in the pack. You'll notice Kitty has more in her pack than I do for food and water. And also for toiletries like toothbrushing and stuff like that. It's a bigger deal to her than it is to me. And she's got to be comfortable because I'm assuming she's on her own travelling home. For the urban environment, I have a 4-way tap. Heavy, that's why it's in my pack. Yeah, it's not bad. I think I could survive okay for 3 or 4 days with what's in my backpack. Wouldn't be great. I do have some glasses cleaner in here as well, because that's something most people overlook. And I do have some painkillers and my antihypertensive tablets. So I am medication dependent, except I'm not. I'm supposed to be taking them once a day. I'm taking about every 4 or 5 days. I probably could actually stop them as soon as I start exercising frequently again. I'm getting off them. So for me, the get home kit in the car is supplemental to the survival gear and supplies that are in the car. So for me, my thought process behind this is 2 bags, one for each of us. We can easily grab both bags without any difficulty and run the heck away from this car in like 30 seconds flat. We don't know the situation and why we're abandoning the vehicle. But if we have the time, you can root through the bags, discard extra clothing and stuff like that, put extra water in, extra food in, even put a Easy-Bit stove in there and all the other gear that's in here. You'd easily be able to pack it. You may have to carry some, but you wouldn't have too much trouble evacuating from the car with about 2 to 5 minutes of concentrated work to load. Now if you have to go because the car's on fire or under fire, the 2 bags should be enough to allow you to spend about a week outside of the car without any resupply and get home. Now it's going to be very weather dependent. If it's minus 30, minus 40 day after day, you're in deep trouble. Now in those situations we carry our winter coats always. We have extra gloves, we have good trousers available, and we do have good shoes on at that point in time. But you can't cover every eventuality. So I'm looking at my kit and I'm thinking, boy, I underestimated food capacity. I really did. And this knife should be in Kitty's bag, not mine, because I can use the fire starter and she may have trouble with it. Though I'm hoping tomorrow or tonight to get Kitty to do a fire starting video using Steve Foco's Mora blade that he sent her. Very kind, Steve, thank you. But yeah, that's it. That's all for me. What am I missing? What have I got that you want to have more of? Yes, you can go 3 or 4 days without water, but in conditions like today, you'll be absolutely useless tomorrow without water. There are aquatabs in Kitty's, in this. I would have aquatabs in both bags. That's a definite thing that is lacking here. I would also put in some collapsible bags to gather water and put the aquatabs in. I think I need a stainless steel container in both bags, not just one. And I may even think a tarp, a lightweight, real cheap tarp in one or both of them might be a good idea, but definitely bug nets. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff I'm going to have to switch out of here and add to it based on rural to rural get home as opposed to City of Toronto getting home to suburbia. And it's really going to be different. I've always considered having a winter and a summer bag in the car for get home. I might go to that point at some point in the future, but right now I've kind of done it. It's not really good enough for winter, it's not really good enough for the summer, but it kind of will work for both of them. With the dog blankets in the car, they're a definitive plus in a winter's day. If you are dependent on things like the Mylar bags, I keep hearing people say, these reflect 95% of your heat. They don't. Look it up. There's 4 types of heat energy. They reflect 95% at best of one type of heat output from you. Try on a reasonably warm night sleeping with just one of these outdoors. Tell me how it goes. And then on the next night at the same temperatures, sleep outside with a light wool blanket or a light cotton blanket for the dogs. They're a standby and they're good for super shelters. That's about it. Don't rely on one of these. Rely on a proper milk. Au revoir. Stay safe.